Looking for a little fitness, are you? Well, you still have time to get today's Delmarva Life Daily Deal. Today's Daily Deal, 69% off 1 month of unlimited classes plus a free uniform from Kickers Taekwondo in Salisbury.
And don't forget, you can get the Daily Deal on DelmarvaLife.com or download the free Delmarva Life Daily Deal app for your iPhone, iPad, or Android. Now you can get our great deals right in the palm of your hand. The Biggs Museum of American Art in Dover has been described as one of the most important museums in Delaware. It houses one of the finest collections of American fine and decorative arts.
The museum offers changing exhibitions throughout the entire year relating to historical and contemporary art topics. Brian Spiros is at the Biggs Museum this afternoon with a look at what's inside. Brian, what do you got?
Well, Jimmy and Lisa, you know, the museum is roughly 10,000 square feet in size. So what we're going to show you today is really just a small part of the big picture, so to speak. But first, I want to introduce you to Ryan Grover, who is the curator of the museum. So the first thing, Ryan, give me an overview of what the museum is all about.
Well, the museum is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year, and it's 20 years of featuring the arts of Delaware, those things made and used within the state of Delaware from about 1700 up to the present.
And that's good for people to know. So really, it's Delaware and really the region as a whole.
Yeah, we try and talk about Delaware stories, but also those stories about its context, those cities that were sort of style centers that were influencing Delaware decisions. So we have a lot from Philadelphia and New York and D.C. as well.
Surrounding area. Explain how the museum is set up. It's basically set up on a timeline.
Yeah, this was sort of the wishes of the museum's founder, Sewell C. Biggs. We have 25 galleries, and we start with the oldest things in the collection, and then every gallery is another 20, 30 years up the timeline. So like the things that are behind me right now really represent the earliest objects that we have in the museum.
And we're going to talk about those. So explain to me not only are the earliest items in the museum, but kind of what's their significance? Tell me a little bit about them.
Well, these are things that we picked from our larger collection of about 2,000 objects to talk about those things made and used within the state of Delaware from about 1700 up to just 1750, a period we call the American Baroque period.
So obviously there's a lot of different things here, and some of this stuff looks pretty good for being a couple hundred years old.
Thank you. We work really hard at that.
There's these pictures here, which people are probably going to see in a second, of this couple up on the wall, and they're probably wondering, who is that? Who are those people?
Those are the Schuylers. They are. We think that the painting was done in about 1750, and we think that it may have commemorated a wedding, basically, between these two individuals. He was a prominent Philadelphia merchant. She was I believe she was the daughter of another merchant there in Philadelphia. When they got married, they, being individuals of means, were able to hire a portrait painter to come and commemorate that moment. So of course this is before the years of photographs and photo albums, so this is the way that people were able to sort of share that memory with people.
Exactly, they're beautiful pictures. Now the other thing too we want to talk about is each gallery here in the museum is sort of everything in it ties together as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. So we pick objects that sort of represent specific time frames. So we have a gallery that's just about those arts made in around the time of the American Revolution. We have another area, or another part of the museum that focuses on the time frame of like the War of 1812 or the American Civil War, even the 20th century, right up into the things made within the last few years. So wherever you end up within the museum, it tells a very discrete story of about a period of about 20 to 30 years.
And the other thing too, which we want to mention, is that you guys recently went through some renovations on the other floors here at the museum.
Yeah.
What were those renovations, and what are those areas of the museum?
Well, really, we just wanted to sort of modernize the interior of the museum. We wanted to bring in new flooring materials. We were really keen to try out LED lighting within the museum. We're one of the first museums in the country to go all LED for our displays, which is great. And then we really wanted to be able to just sort of modernize the appearance. So we went with this really simple whitewashed walls with these sort of accent colors, these really bright punctuating colors and textures, new interesting wallpapers that really sort of, again, tell another place another layer into that story of each time frame that we're trying to emphasize here in the museum.
So people will definitely have to come on down and check it all out. And speaking of which, we want to let them know when you guys are open. The museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 9 until 4:30, then on Sunday from 1:30 to 4:30, and of course, the best part, general admission is free. Now, if you would like more information on the Biggs Museum of American Art, all you have to do, go to our website, delmarvalife.com, click on the show tab, Ryan, thank you very much. A lot of good information. We appreciate it. And a lot of great stuff here to see at the museum, so people should definitely come on down. A lot of interesting stuff. With that said, Jimmy and Lisa, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right. Thanks a lot, Brian Sparrows. And thank you for watching Delmarva Life. Be sure to join us tomorrow. Find out how you can get tickets to a big upcoming country concert.
Plus a new epidemic targeting our teenagers. You don't want to miss this.
And don't forget, you can also visit delmarvalife.com on your mobile device. And for all you iPad users, you can also watch us there. Coming up next on WBOC, Dr. Oz.
And thank you again to our studio audience for joining us this afternoon. Find out how you can join us as a member of our studio audience. Go to delmarvalife.com and click on the Show tab.
Delmarva Life, life at its best here on Delmarva.